Hello everyone, welcome to our good discussions. My name is Wawadun and I is regulator.
Mine is a peasant. I am very intensive.
My name is Athena Dewishan and my role is issuer.
And I'm Subhashi Chandrasekharan and my role is investor. Welcome everyone to today's discussion on funds green bond market. Let's start with the investor perspective. What makes funds such an attractive market for green bonds? France green bond market stands out for its maturity and transparency. The adoption of the EU Green Bond Standard (EUGB) ensures that funds are allocated to projects with a clear environmental objectives, boosting our confidence as investors. Additionally, the robust regulatory environment combined with France's stable financial system and political climate makes green bond an excellent choice for long-term returns. The low financing costs in this market compared to emerging ones further enhance its appeal. However, as an investor, I would like to ask issuer, how do you ensure compliance with the strict regulation without raising costs too much?
That was a great question. France benefits from its structured market environment. We rely heavily on standardized reporting and external reviews to ensure the compliance with the EUGB and other environmental laws. Leveraging these frameworks reduces ambiguity and streamlines processes, which helps to manage the costs effectively. Additionally, the strong domestic and international investor demand for green bonds in France allows us to scale projects efficiently. And my question for the rating agency is, how do you balance strict assessments with encouraging new issuers to enter the green bond market?
We recognize the importance of encouraging new issuers while maintaining market integrity. Our approach involves aligning assessments with international standards, such as the EUGB, while offering guidance to issuers, especially those new to green finance. Funds advanced market makes this easier because issuers are already familiar with high standards. We are also integrating technology to make the evolution process more efficient. That said, we relied on regulators to provide consistent frameworks to support both large-scale and smaller issuers. How is the regulatory body fostering inclusivity in this market?
We aim to maintain France's leadership in the green bond market while fostering inclusivity. For instance, we introduced initiatives to support smaller issuers such as subsidy for his education costs and simplify compliance top rates. Collaboration with the EU ensures that our framework aligns with global standards while addressing domestic needs. Additionally, we focus on preventing greenwashing through stringent project evaluation on disclosure requirements. To both issuers and investors, how can we further improve participations from diverse stakeholders in the green bond market?
The regulators could provide additional incentives such as tax breaks or grants for issuers of smaller green bonds or bonds in the new sectors like biodiversity and the circular economy. This measure would allow us to expand our portfolio and also include more projects.
From investor side, providing frequent and standardized performance data across all sectors would make green bonds more attractive. Enhancing secondary market liquidity through mechanisms like guarantee funds would also encourage higher participation from institutional investors.
Thank you for the insight. Let's shift to the challenges France faces, such as pollution and climate change. How do these environmental concerns shape a market?
Environmental challenges like air pollution and the transition to renewable energy create urgency for green investment. While this provides opportunities for impactful projects, they also heighten the risk profile. Transparent data on project performance is critical for us to access and mitigate these risks.
Exactly. Challenges like air pollution often translate into a need for urban infrastructure projects, such as improving the public transport. The strong demand for these projects aligns with the government goals that allowing us to secure financing more easily. However, we must also ensure that the environmental goals remain central despite financial pressures.
From our side, we closely monitor these risks by assessing not only project feasibility but also their alignment with France's environmental commitments like reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This ensures that we continue to uphold the credibility of the market.
We address these challenges by integrating France's environmental goals, such as those in the energy transition law, directly into the Green Bond framework. This ensures that projects tackle pressing issues like pollution while meeting global standards.
Let's talk about international collaboration. France has been actively engaging with the foreign investors and global partnerships. What the opportunities does this create?
The strong international reputation of France's green bonds open up investment opportunities for stakeholders worldwide. As a global demand for sustainable finance grows, France's commitment to transparency and innovation make it the preferred destination.
We benefit from the partnerships with international investors, which bring not only the capital, but also expertise in the areas like renewable energy and biodiversity. These collaborations enhance the scope and the impact of our projects.
International collaboration enriches the market by introducing global best practices. For example, data sharing initiatives and cross-border standardization strengthen France's position as a leader in sustainable finance.
Our focus is to continue building frameworks that make France attractive for global investors while meeting the needs of domestic issuers. For instance, we're working on bilateral agreements with other nations to their financial product. France's green bond market is clearly at the forefront of sustainable finance with its well-regulated environment, strong investor trust, and proactive approach to environmental challenges. Just continue this momentum to drive global progress in green finance.
Let's begin with our segment. I would like to invite the investor representative to share their understanding of the French green bond market and their investment strategy. Thank you, everyone. I'm here on behalf of a global investment fund where we embrace the dual responsibility of pursuing financial returns while actively supporting sustainable development. France green bond market is a cornerstone of our strategy. Its maturity and transparency are unparalleled, setting a global benchmark. The sovereign green bonds, particularly the green oaths, are highlighted for us. They combine stable returns and robust credit backing, which is vital for our institutional investors like us. We are deeply committed to ESG goals, which is environmental, social, and governance. Green bonds allow us to integrate environmental impact into our portfolios without compromising on financial performance. In fact, we recently invested in a 2024 issuance of green notes, which supports clean energy projects and low carbon transportation. This investment aligns perfectly with both our fiduciary duty and our mission to contribute to a greener planet. Let's hear from the issuer side. We are learned about how the French green bonds are designed and issued.
A very good afternoon to everyone again. It's a pleasure to be here. As the issuer of green bonds, our primary goal is to design financial instruments that are not only to meet the expectations of the investors, but also create tangible benefits for the environment. So since 2017, France has taken a leadership role in the global green bond market. Our Green Oath framework is a testament to that. And this framework clearly mandates that funds raised are allocated towards 4 crucial objectives that are mitigating climate change, adapting to its impacts, protecting biodiversity, and also reducing pollution. Each of these objectives is not just a promise, but also a commitment backed by rigorous criteria. Transparency is the foundation of our work. To this end, every euro raised through our green bonds is tracked meticulously and subjected to independent external audits. For example, projects financed through SNCF's green bonds, Transnational Railway Company, have focused on upgrading sustainable rail infrastructure. This has not only reduced emissions, but also encouraged a shift toward greener modes of transportation. Therefore, such initiatives demonstrate how green bonds deliver value beyond financial returns.
Establishing structure of shows transparency and accountability sentences to regular investors. Now, let's turn to the regulatory side. How does the French Financial Market Authority AMF support and oversee this thriving green bond market?
As a regulatory body, our mandate is to ensure that a green bond market operates with integrity, transparency, and accountability. These are non-negotiable pillars for us to combat the risk of greenwashing. We have implemented stringent ESG disclosures guidelines. Issuers are required to provide detailed reporting on how proceeds are used and the environmental impact of our project. This is complemented by independent verification to ensure compliance. We also work closely with the European Union on the EU Green Bond Standard, which is a game changer of the market. It mandates that at least 85% of proceeds from green bonds must be directed toward projects that align with sustainable investment objectives. This standard not only promotes transparency, but also enhances investor confidence by providing a harmonized framework. Additionally, French regulatory landscape is strengthened by law such as the Energy Transactions and Green Growth Act, which ensure that green bond proceeds contribute meaningfully to environmental priorities.
Thank you for shedding light on the regulatory measures. Finally, let me share the perspective of rating agency as we play a pivotal role in assessing both the financial and environmental dimensions of green bond. As a rating agency, our role is to evaluate the credit risk of green bonds and to assess their environmental impact. But green bond market has been a global leader in this space, with over 3 billion in bond distributing climate bonds certification. This reflects the robustness of our projects and the rigorous standards set by issuers and regulators. However, there are challenges that we must address collectively. One major issue is the lack of standardized definition for green projects. For example, while some bonds finance renewable energy, others target biodiversity conservation. Without a unified standard, however, the environmental efficiency of these bonds can be challenging for investors. We are optimistic about initiatives like the EU Green Bond Standard, which aims to bring greater uniformity and clarity. Meanwhile, we continue to work with issuers to refine our evaluation framework, ensuring that both financial stability and environmental integrity are on track.
That concludes the opening remarks. Let's move to an interactive discussions. Investor, based on the regulator's stringent guidelines, do you think current exposure requirements are sufficient to meet what SG?
Generally, yes. However, we would appreciate even more granularity in impact reporting. For instance, a breakdown of how specific projects contribute to a carbon reduction goals would enhance our ability to communicate these impacts to our stakeholders.
That's a fair point. We are exploring ways to make impact reporting more details without overburdening issuers. Issuers, do you think this level of detail is feasible?
It's possible but require resources, especially for the smaller entities. Perhaps collaboration with rating agencies to standardize impact metrics could help to simplify this process.
We are introducing standardized search template for impact reporting for brief this year. Such tools would streamline the process for issuers and provide investors with comparable data. Let's start with the investor's perspective. As a representative of a global investment fund, why is the French green bond market so appealing to you? Thank you. The French green bond market attracts us primarily due to its maturity and transparency, especially sovereign green bonds like green oats. These bonds offer investors stable returns and robust credit backing. Recently, we invested in a batch of green oats issued in 2024, supporting clean energy and low carbon transportation for that projects. These loans not only provide consistent return but also demonstrate our commitment to sustainable development. Moreover, France has created a robust ecosystem of partnership with key stakeholders, including policymakers, rating agencies, and industry leaders. This collaborative approach provides us with a high degree of confidence that our investment aligns with genuine sustainability goals.
Fascinating. These projects have a significant positive environmental impact. From the issuer perspective, how do you ensure that these funds are appropriate related to the environmental pressure?
That's an excellent question. Transparency and accountability are at the heart of our green oat design. For instance, our green bond framework explicitly requires that the proceeds be used for objectives like climate change, mitigation, and biodiversity protection. Every allocation undergoes stringent external audits. One example is our collaboration with SNCF, which is France's national railway company, which has financed over 11.4 billion euro through green bonds to upgrade rail infrastructure. These projects have delivered measurable outcomes such as a 20% reduction in transportation related emissions and an increase in the use of sustainable rail by commuters. We also ensure continuous engagement with stakeholders through annual impact reports by providing investors with the clear insights into how their funds are contributing to tangible environmental outcomes.
A very transparent mechanism. However, there might be challenges in practice. From a regulator standpoint, how do you ensure that the funds are appropriately allocated and prevent greenwashing?
Indeed, combating greenwashing is a priority for us. We implemented strict ESG disclosure guidelines and passes the Energy Transition of Green Growth Act to ensure that funds are explicitly used for environmental projects. For instance, in 2024, a French government increased its green project budgets from 11 billion euro to 15 billion euro. We also strengthened climate risk disclosure requirements for financial institutions, making it mandatory to provide detailed impact reports. In cases of greenwashing, we enforce several penalties, including revoking the green label of funds and issuing public statements to maintain market integrity. Additionally, our oversight has evolved to include AI-driven data analytics, enabling us to monitor and verify the environmental impact of projects in real time. This ensures that issuers remain accountable throughout the bond life cycle.
Rigorous regulatory measures. Credit rating agencies also play a critical role in the success of green bonds. What are the main strengths and challenges of the current green bond market?
One of the strengths is the outstanding performance of the French green bond market. Over 3 billion of bonds have received climate bond certification, reflecting robust regulation and high transparency from issuers. However, challenges remain, particularly in the lack of standardized definition for green projects. While some bonds finally do renewable energy, others target biodiversity for preservation or urban sustainability. This diversity makes it difficult for investors to compare the environmental impact across bonds. We strongly support the EU Green Bond Standard introduced in 2024, which enhances transparency and reduces investor concerns by providing a harmonized framework. We are also collaborating with issuers to set sector-specific benchmarks, such as metrics tailored for transportation, energy, or agricultural projects. This will ensure consistency without stifling innovation in the green bond market.
So I mentioned the issue of standardization. How do the investor view this challenge?
We are indeed concerned about the definition of green bonds and the transparency of project selection. Standardization helps us better understand the environmental impact of our investments. Moreover, France's efforts to combat greenwashing have boosted our confidence. For instance, we have seen how detailed impact metrics such as carbon offset measurement or energy projects has concerned our ability to assess the performance of green bonds in our portfolio. As mentioned by the rating agency, the EU Green Bond Standard is undoubtedly a significant advancement, and we hope it will serve as a global benchmark.
It means for its portfolio making it feel optimistic about the future. Issuers, how do you plan to further expand the coverage of green bonds?
In the coming years, we plan to expand the use of green bonds to cover more areas such as ocean protection and sustainable agriculture. For example, we are piloting a blue bond framework to fund oceanic preservation projects, including reducing plastic pollution and supporting coastal ecosystems. Additionally, we will work closely with regulators and rating agencies to enhance the standardization and transparency of our framework that will attracting more international investors. And this includes creating interactive dashboards for real-time tracking of project impacts to enable the investors to see the direct outcomes of their investments.
What are the regulators' take on this? Are there plans to introduce more policies to support such expansion?
We are collaborating closely with the EU to draft more policy supporting green finance. For instance, requiring more institutions to disclose the proportion of green investment in their financial statement. Additionally, we are exploring ways to simplify the green bond issuance process, making it easier for small and medium-sized enterprises such as FMES to participate in the green bond market. For FMES, we considering a tiered certification system, allowing them to access the green bond market while maintaining rigorous but proportional standards.
With collaborative ecosystem among investors, insurers, regulators, and rating agencies ensures the continued growth and credibility of France's green bond market. With a focus on innovation, transparency, and accountability, the future of green finance looks promising. Now, we will discuss the challenges each of you face in the French green bond market and how you address them. Let's begin with the investor perspective. What's your biggest challenge in this market?
One major challenge we face is lack of standardized definition for our qualify as a green project. This inconsistency makes it harder to access the environmental impact of our investment across our portfolio. Additionally, liquidity can be an issue. Green bonds are not always as tradable as conventional bonds, which limits our flexibility as large institutional investors. Another concern is the relatively high cost of entry for smaller scale green projects, which limit the diversity of opportunity available.
That's a critical concern. How have you tracked this?
We closely monitor developments like EU's Green Bond Standard, which offer clear criteria for qualifying green projects. This reduces ambiguity and gives us more confidence in our investment decisions. As for liquidity, we actively engage with our issuers to promote larger issuance sizes and secondary market support, which can improve tradability. Additionally, we are exploring private placement for green bonds to open up the new investment avenue, while ensuring that sustainability criteria are met.
Thank you. Moving on to issuers, what challenges do you face when deciding on issuing green bonds?
Our primary challenges is balancing investor demand for transparency with the strict environmental criteria that are required for green bonds. Meeting these standards often involves higher costs, time-consuming reporting processes, and sourcing eligible projects that align with the framework. Furthermore, the dynamic regulatory landscape means that we must constantly adapt to the new guidelines, which can slow the issuance process. And another issue is ensuring the long-term feasibility and monitoring of the projects to sustain their green label.
And how do you address these challenges?
We have invested in robust frameworks and external certifications to build investor confidence. For instance, every euro raised through our green bond is audited by the third parties to ensure compliance with the environmental goals. To reduce costs, we collaborate with regulators and industry bodies to streamline reporting requirements without compromising transparency. Additionally, we are exploring innovative sectors like blue economy and circular economy projects to expand our eligible portfolio. For long-term feasibility, we have implemented a monetary system to track project performance, and we also provide biannual updates to the investors.
Okay, regulators, what challenges do you face in ensuring the integrity and growth of the green bond market?
One of our main challenges is combating greenwashing. With the rapid growth of the market, there's a risk that some issuers may misrepresent the environmental benefits of their projects. Another issue is aligning our policy with international standards while addressing the specific needs of our local market. We also place resources in monitoring and verifying the growing number of green projects.
Greenwashing is a significant concern. So how do you mitigate it?
We implemented strict ESG disclosure guidelines requiring issuers to provide detailed reports on the use of proceeds and environmental impact. Furthermore, we impose heavy penalties such as revoking green labels or borrowing repeat honors from the market. To align with global standards, we actively collaborate with the EU to refine and adopt frameworks like the EU Green Bond Standard. Additionally, we introduce AI-driven analytics to monitor project outcomes and improve our verification processes, allowing us to stay active of cooperation with.
Okay. Rating indices, your evaluation are crucial for investor confidence. What are the challenges you face in accessing green bonds?
The major challenges for us is the lack of consistent data on environmental performance and project outcomes. Many insurers operate in diverse sectors with varying standards, making it difficult to compare green bonds effectively. Additionally, some projects have long-term environmental impacts that are hard to quantify upfront. Another hurdle is verifying claims made by issuers. particularly when projects are in regions with limited access to independent auditors. This has been an insightful discussion. Let's open the floor to cross dialogue. Investors, what your view on the issuer effort to explain eligible green projects?
We appreciate the issuer innovation, especially in exploring sectors like the blue economy. However, we like to see more collaboration with stakeholders to identify scalable projects and meet both environmental and economic goals. Expanding to sectors like sustainable agriculture or urban resilience could attract more institutional entrants. Sharing a pipeline of upcoming projects will also help us align our strategy with the market direction.
That's a great point. We are already exploring partnerships with municipalities and private firms to diversify our project pipeline. For example, we are working on a green urban development in collaboration with the local governments. If investors could share insights on their priority areas, and we would be better positioned to address market needs.
Okay, regulator, how can you further support issuers and investors to overcome these challenges?
We working on simplifying the green bond issuance process and providing clear taxonomies for sectors like agriculture and urban planning. Additionally, we're setting up a knowledge sharing platform to connect investors, issuers, and experts. This platform will allow stakeholders to exchange insights on emerging trends, project innovation, and regulatory updates. Furthermore, we're creating incentives for smaller issuers to enter the green bond market, such as tax rebates for verified green projects.
Rating agency, do you see room for collaboration with the issuers to standardize reporting frameworks?
Exactly. Actually, we believe core development reporting templates to ensure consistency and simplify the evaluation process. This will enhance transparency and make it easier for investors to compare projects. We are also open to hosting joint workshops with issuers and regulators to establish best practice in green bond reporting.
Collaboration is key. Let's ensure that as the market evolves, we continue to work together to address these challenges and capitalize on opportunity for sustainable growth.
Thank you all for sharing your perspective. Let's now dive into a more interactive section where we will discuss and challenge each other's viewpoints. I will start with a question for the investor. You mentioned earlier that liquidity is a key challenge. Issuers, what will respond to this concept?
That's a valid point. As issuers, we focus on ensuring the size of our green bond issuances that meets the market demand while balancing the number of eligible projects. However, increasing the issuance size can sometimes conflict with maintaining a high standard of green project eligibility. And my question to you as an investor is, would you be open to slightly broader project criteria if it meant to improve the liquidity?
That's an interesting proposal. While liquidity is critical, we wouldn't want to compromise on environmental integrity. Could you collaborate with our regulators to develop a secondary market mechanism or a guarantee fund that enhance tradability without diluting green standards?
We already considering such measures. For instance, we exploring a program to provide liquidity support for green bond in secondary culture. However, this requires strong participation from both issuers and investors. My question to both of you is, what picture in such a program will make it effective?
A liquidity guarantee backed by a credible entity like a central bank or a EU fund would definitely make us more comfortable investing in a larger quantities. Additionally, frequent pricing data for green bonds in the secondary market would help. Transparent and easy to access data on bond performance would be essential for ensuring confidence in this investment.
From our side, we would prefer a system where unsold bonds could be temporarily held by a government-backed entity, which allow us to focus on project execution. Transparency in how this mechanism operate would also be critical. And this would ensure that both parties would feel secure in their investments and the environmental objectives of the bonds are maintained.
Good suggestion. Now a question for rating agency. You mentioned data challenges earlier. Do you believe current reporting requirements are manageable or are they too burdensome?
It is definitely a challenge. The level of detail required by investors and rating agency often demands significant resources, especially for the smaller organizations. And my question to the rating agency is, how can you simplify your requirements without compromising on the quality?
That's a great question. We believe in leveraging technologies such as automated data collection and reporting systems to streamline the process. Also, we could introduce tailored reporting standards where smaller issuers can provide simple disclosures for less complex projects. My question to regulator is, would you support such tailored frameworks?
Yes, it aligns with our goal of fostering inclusivity in the green bond market. However, we need to ensure that this simplified framework still with global standards. My question to the rating agency is, how would you ensure consistency in regulation across much of our real system?
Would you set clear guidelines for each tier, ensuring that while the depth of reporting might differ, the key metrics remain consistent? Collaboration with issuers and regulators is designing these guidelines would be pursued. Issuers, will you be willing to participate in such a collaborative effort?
Absolutely. If it helps reduce the burden and aligns with the investors' expectations, we are on board. So investors, how would you feel about supporting the smaller issuers that are entering the green bond market?
Actually, we welcome it, provided there are a clear mechanism to verify the project's environmental impacts. Collaborating with rating agency and regulator to ensure credibility would be key. And also, ensuring the small issuer can meet the same environmental standards would be important to avoid the risk of greenwashing.
This has been an enlightening discussion. It's clear that collaboration and innovation are critical to overcoming these challenges. Let's continue to build bridge between all stakeholders to strengthen the green bond market. One final question to everyone. How do we ensure that the green bond market remains sustainable, both in terms of its environmental impact and its financial growth?
To maintain long-term profitability, we need to focus on fair and credible metrics. These include enhancing prosperity, supporting innovations, and assuring that bonds contribute to finance high-impact projects. But we also need to strike a balance between market growth and rigor in environmental standards.
Yes, I agree with you, regulator. Sustainability requires continuous effort. We must ensure that the projects financed by green bonds have measurable and long-lasting environmental benefits. It is also important for us to keep looking at the new areas, such as the blue economy and biodiversity conservation, to diversify and strengthen the green bond portfolio.
From investor perspective, ensuring that the project meets the high standard is essential. We also need to see a long-term viability and performance from these projects. Only with robust system in place with monitoring and reporting will we continue to support this market and ensure it grows responsibly.
Absolutely. Consistency, transparency, and innovation will be key. Rating agency can be helped by providing objective evaluation and clear standards. But it's up to all stakeholders, regulators, insurers, and investors to ensure that the market continues to evolve in the right direction.
Indeed, this requires a collective effort. We committed to refining the regulatory standard, but it will be essential for all of us to collaborate closely to foster transparency and growth within the green bond market.
Thank you all for this insightful dive. It's clear that the green bond market is poised for growth, but it's up to each of us to ensure that it stays true to its environmental and financial goals. Let's keep pushing for greater collaboration and innovation.
Thank you as well. We look forward to working together to create a market that both financially rewarding and environmentally impactful.
Likewise, we are also excited about the future of green bonds and the positive change that we can drive together.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be a part of forward-thinking and collaborating conversations. Let's continue working together to build a sustainable and thriving green bond market.